Welcome, my friends. It is a good day at the bottom shelf because we have for you Kavanaugh, finest Irish whiskey,
but not
which
Tom
is
Kavanaugh. That's an actor.
That's right.
And it's an Irish whiskey that happens to be a product of Ireland.
Ooh.
Don't settle for substitutes. Irish whiskey that is not made in Ireland.
Irish whiskey's from Somalia.
Yes.
Or Cleveland. No, it's from Ireland.
This is a distinctive, smooth, and mellow tasting Irish whiskey.
At least according to the label.
And of course, this does meet our criteria. It is a full-size bottle of distilled liquor at a price point of $19.99 or less.
$19.99
per bottle. So I'm going to pour this out a little bit neat. And again, we're going to forego the Glencairn because Irish whiskeys are not typically an aromatic whiskey.
No.
So they got
Here we go.
there. So give this guy a good nosing.
Ooh.
It smells like victory.
It smells like almost a lighter version of the that Glen Ness that we just tried.
I'm gonna be honest, it smells like the whiskey soap I use. Yes, I use whiskey soap.
Hints of soap.
And I have a bourbon cologne. Don't think I don't.
Well, again, much like some of our other offerings, the history on the back of this is a bit thin. This is basically boils
Well, that
down
makes
to
one of us.
Kavanaugh's finest Irish whiskey is distinctive sweet nose and smooth taste, making it an Irish whiskey for any occasion.
Any occasion. Your dog just died. Kavanaugh!
Exactly. Does Squee and what's his name from the frat like this stuff too?
Squee and
Yeah.
what?
Our Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
He likes beer.
He likes beer.
Kavanaugh.
He likes beer.
Squee.
See, I don't even like it anymore. You ruined it. Shut up.
Squee and Rude
So,
Boy.
in as far as a nosing goes, this is a pretty inauspicious whiskey.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it.
But granted, we're not.
All up in it.
Yeah, we're not all up in its business. But it's very mild. But I kind of expect
Even
that
then,
out of an Irish
there's
whiskey.
not really a lot there.
Irish whiskeys typically aren't that
You might
aromatic.
get a little more floral notes than this one.
Yeah, it's very, very full. All right,
Let's see what this thing's all about.
let's see what's happening.
I ain't mad at it.
Now,
It's a little aggressive for an Irish.
Yeah.
it's a young whiskey.
It is.
It's a young whiskey.
It might be like an old school Irish, like
Like a bootleg.
like a bootleg era Irish.
It's got a little bit of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
It's thin.
That.
It doesn't have a lot of presence to it.
There's not a lot
The
of-
sweetness disappears quickly. It's got some pepper on the back of it, but that pepper fades.
Fades really quick.
Does it? I'm still getting it.
Are you?
I'm not.
Yeah.
For me, it fades. It's got a little bit of bitterness on the afternoon. The weird thing is once I took that first sip and I was sampling it, swallowed it, and then exhaled, I got some tobacco notes.
I didn't get it.
That may be because I've got brain damage, but it was there. Yeah. You don't
know me.
Magic helmet.
It's got a little bit more bitterness to it than I'm used to an Irish whiskey being, but it's still very subtle. It's not overt.
Yep. A selection of finest Irish whiskies, gently matured in oak casks and blended to create this distinctive, smooth and mellow tasting Irish whiskey. Oh, Lucky Charms. I'm sorry. That was my lousy Irish accent there. So any Irish people watching this, I know it's bad. Just
And he's not really after your strawberry smickles.
I'm not. So I'm
I'm gonna
half
go touch my
Irish.
schmeckles.
That's my awful Irish accent there.
I want to make fun of it. I do want to make fun of it because it's about as Irish as the Irish Day Parade in Boston, in my opinion.
Okay, it compared to some of the other affordable Irish whiskeys that we know of.
Like Hellcat Maggie.
I
Well,
think this
first of
can't-
all, it won't cut a bitch like Hellcat Maggie.
I was
will.
about to say this won't. This will not stand up to Hellcat Maggie.
No, Hellcat
much
Maggie will
does.
cut a bitch.
It ain't got the flavor of Hellcat Maggie.
It doesn't have the character of Hellcat
It ain't got
Maggie.
the character, but some of the others, some of the well-known, the entry-level Tullamore Dew.
I still drink my Tullamore.
I'd
I'd still go my Tullamore
I'd go
Dew.
Tullamore. Yeah.
Even if you went like bottom shelf Jameson.
Yeah, bottom shelf Jameson's.
Still-
Give me the Jameson's. Any
Give me
day.
the Jameson.
Yeah.
You go bottom shelf red spot. So on.
Yep.
It's not in those leagues.
No.
This is in the farm leagues.
Now, if you gave this to me over ice, it's not going to start a fight.
No. First of all, I'm not going to be. Well, it might start a fight, but how much do you have? But I'm not mad at it. I would drink it.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong.
For me, let's see what it does in coffee, because I'm a big fan of Irish coffee, and that's kind of, where I like to go. So, for example, I've tried, the standard in Irish coffee is supposed to be Jameson's. That's really supposed to be the standard, or any Irish whiskey, but most people tend to go with Jameson's. And if you go with the Cask's Mate Stout in coffee, it's fantastic. If you go with IPA in coffee,
Bitter and
Hops
bitter.
hops and coffee should not be.
Nah, doesn't really go together. Not in my opinion. If somebody else out there knows a particular style of coffee that it works with, let me know. But
like it works specifically well in Sumatra
exactly,
coffee.
yeah,
All right,
something like that.
bring it
maybe.
on.
But bring that information if you got it. I'd be willing to give this a shot in some coffee and see how it goes.
Sadly, that will have to wait for another time because
Yeah, we're not doing
there
it
will
today.
never be any coffee here.
He doesn't drink coffee.
No, does not drink coffee.
He's
Now,
he's
I
a
will say-
communist. They're having a
So
moment.
considering what this is, it doesn't have a big flavor profile.
No,
It's not offensive though.
it's not offensive.
No.
What would you think of some ways of improving this? I mean, it's kind of like I hate to say this, but it's kind of like a
Irish car bombs.
it's kind of like a slightly more flavorful vodka. It really needs to be a component in something else. It's not something you typically gonna drink by itself.
Yeah.
Coffee. I think John
Irish
right.
coffee.
Irish coffees. It would be good. It'd be great. I think it'd be fine if you want to put it with your mixer of choice.
Yeah, certain cocktails I think would be really good. I'll bet it'd be good if some people like doing like a ginger ale kind of a thing, like a 7 and 7,
Now,
something like that.
yeah,
I'll bet it would go really well like
yeah, and that's another thing that you're thinking back. Seagram
Bourbon and
7
ginger.
and 7 and 7 used to be my thing, but now Seagram 7
Is.
it's just god awful. This would make a fine alternative to something like
that.
that.
Yeah, it would go well there. Some ginger ale, some 7-Up, something like that. But I think it would go really well in it if you made a standard Irish
Cooking?
coffee. Yeah.
I'd put that in some whipped cream.
Yep. So there you go.
If you want to make an Irish whipped cream, yeah, that would work. I will say most of the whiskey cocktails that I make, I need something with more of a flavor profile because part of it is relying upon that strong flavor.
The strong
of
flavors of whiskey, yeah.
And this simply
is
just
too
doesn't have the presence.
That's what I was thinking. There's too many mixers that would just overpower this.
Yeah.
There have been a few that I'd seen recently that come in through my feeds of suggestions that take a small scoop of jam in as one of the components, and it works really, really well because the flavor profile of a berry, once it's turned into a jam, it makes it a little bit more savory, and it harmonizes again, and I really like that harmony of flavors.
Well, we have some cranberry seltzer in there.
We do. So
Maybe
to
we
improve it, let's give that a shot.
We have-
So here we are, we're back. Again, flying by the seat of my pants and making up a cocktail as we go.
You crazy mixologist, you.
My brother with another mother, Richard here, is a big fan of these spiked seltzers. So I decided to use their cranberry version. This is the Irish whiskey with a tiny dollop of raspberry jam, crushed ice, topped off with the seltzer. So we're going to see how this turns out. It's not overpoweringly.
Oh, it smells like
Smells
glory.
great.
Oh my gosh.
That is a summer drink.
That works.
Summertime.
We're gonna dub in some summertime music on top of this, man. That is
good.
refreshing.
It's nice and dry. It's not very sweet.
No, it's not
not
very
very
sweet. It's not very sweet. It's nice.
Yeah, don't think it's
balanced.
like because he said jam. Don't think it's all full of like
Uh-uh.
sugar and super
No, this is just
syrupy.
This was just a tiny touch of jam, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon, and I put in about an ounce of the Irish whiskey,
And I'll be honest, I think most of that teaspoon has
Yeah.
settled to
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was expensive raspberry jam that actually had the seeds still in it.
Yeah.
And made sure that it was completely dissolved in the whiskey, put in the crushed ice, and then topped it off with the
Cranberry sauce.
cranberry seltzer.
That is
That
delicious.
is refreshing as all get out. Good job. Good
And
job.
you mix your alcohol with an alcoholic mixer.
Yeah.
So we have synergy there.
Synergy.
Yeah,
It's science,
and,
bitches.
For all you ketogenic people, this only has 2 grams of carbs in it.
And
No
whiskey has
sugar.
no carbs.
And whiskey has no carbs. So
The
if you're
jam,
trying to
however, just
wrecks everything.
Wreck
There
all
was
that.
so little of it that hopefully it won't really.
Yeah.
It's negligible.
yeah.
So
Man, that's
there you
good.
have it. You
That-
everyone out there is rating the good stuff.
Yeah, everybody breaks the good
But just
stuff.
because something's
Really.
inexpensive doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile.
There,
And while we've stepped on some landmines,
Oh, yes, we have.
and we may
Grappa.
again in the near future,
that freaking grappa.
Stuff. I never thought there would be anything worse than Malort, and I was
But that
sadly
was.
mistaken.
Oh.
No, I've advertised that to people. Oh man, there's nothing worse than Malort. Oh
Wrong.
yes, there is. There are
Wrong.
worse things than Malort.
Oh.
take it from
Well.
one who has the scars to prove it.
We've been there. We've
There
done
are
it.
things worse than grappa, or than Malort.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've
There are things worse than.
we have not
this.
found anything worse than that grappa yet.
That grappa is worse than some relationships I've had.
Mm.
So it's bad.
Not all of them, but some of them.
But some.
So-
So, my friends,
Till next time.
Till next time. Cheers.